Now I know I have kept you waiting, guys, but we're finally back with some more religious wars. I must apologize for no uploads for about a week. I had all kinds of crazy things going on. Obviously, a new year is always chaotic, and I had important things to do, but I also, spent my time with non-important things, such as playing Life is Feudal. I'm guilty, I got kind of sucked into that game, but I finally found some time to record the religious wars again, so no more long breaks. We're gonna finish the last 100 years relatively quickly, and then we'll choose a winner. But before that happens, we'll obviously check out all of the things that are going on, and just as a quick reminder, we will have a look at the wars. Now, I titled the last episode, episode 16, The Great Totemist Awakening, because the great nation, the great Totemist nation that I dubbed the Sleeping Giant, has finally awoken and found their first target. They have declared a war on the new Reformed faith in order to gain some provinces, and we'll see how well the Reformed faith is going to protect their colonial possessions. I think it's going to be relatively difficult, not only because the Totemists are extremely powerful, but also because the Reformed are in a war against the Norse as well. So they are fighting a two-front war across the ocean. That's a huge logistical, I guess, hurdle that they have to overcome, but we'll see how well they do. Other than that, we have some smaller wars going on. The Zoroastrians are absolutely kicking the Sikh Theravada butt. We have the Tengri fighting against the Confucians. Also, looks like a pretty one-sided war. We have the Nahuatl declaring a war against the Inti. This is big as well. One of the two biggest, I guess, American nations going against each other, and there is, I believe, Lollard, Colombia, or whatever this nation's called. Actually, let me quickly check this out. This is, yes, Lollard, Colombia is in between these two giant nations and kind of stopping the Nahuatl from gaining any war score. So we'll see how that turns out. And we also have the Mazdaki fighting the Sikh. Not too interesting in my opinion. The Mahayana and the Vajrayani fighting against the Confucians. Okay, so we have the Sikh, the Confucians, as well as the Reformed, both or all three of them in 2 wars each. So they are probably going to get defeated quite a bit. And last but certainly not least, the big war in Europe. We have the Fraticelli, Iconoclast, and Bogomilist fighting the Slavs and the Waldensians as well. So even though this seems like a quite an unlikely alliance, the Slavs and the Waldensians, they have been at war against each other for many times in the past, but now they've decided to work together in order to maybe try and stop this huge alliance block that has built and bullied everyone in this region ever since the start of this series. So yeah, I don't think that the Bogomilists are gonna fall in this war. I think the Waldensians and Slavs simply are just outmatched if we look at this. But maybe they can surprise us. Who knows? So yeah, we're gonna maybe check out a big battle here. It looks like the Waldensian alliance, or Waldensian Slav alliance, has actually won a battle here, so that's nice. I don't even know where I should look. There's so many things going on. I do believe I would like to see what's going on here, since the Totemists are, they're one of my favorite nations. I have a couple of favorite nations, as I have mentioned oftentimes, I know, but I simply can't decide which I want to root for. But I think the Totemists are definitely, one of the top nations. Okay, so the Reformed are now experiencing some rebel uprisings, and their army is getting crushed as well. So yeah, it's not looking good for them, but that is not really a surprise. Nahuatl, they are not doing anything since they still cannot pass. What's going on? Ooh, there's uprisings in the Reformed nation and at home as well. Not looking good. The Bogomilists just absolutely destroyed a Slavic army, and I think the Waldensians are getting crushed here as well. Yes, 140,000 men against 90. Actually, they're holding out. They are holding out. They might turn this around. This is a pretty close battle. I think they fought very well. I think they won that battle. Not sure if that's going to be enough, but they are definitely trying. Yeah, they're losing still by 23%. That's not good. the capital has fallen, and that is all the war score that the Fraticelli need. But yeah, what else has been going on? I think the Zoroastrians have pieced out the Sikh. Let's quickly see what they have taken. Not too many provinces. They have been relatively moderate, but yeah, they're definitely growing stronger, which is always good. Chipping away at their enemies, and in the meantime, taking the rich Siberian lands for themselves. Good. Now, what else have we had going on? The Tengri is still fighting the Confucians, and the Confucians are also at war with the Mahayana. Right. Okay, so this was gonna end relatively soon. I think the Suomenusko declared a war on the Orthodox. We'll check that out in a second as well. And there must have been the Totemist. The Totemist pieced out, I think. Yes. Well, actually, the Reform pieced out of all of their wars. So did the Norse take anything? It doesn't look like the Norse took anything at all. So the Reform got out of this war with the Norse Empire pretty easily, and oh yeah, so there it is. The Totemists took a bunch of land. Wow, that was to be expected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 provinces. Wow. Okay, so they pretty much cut the new Reformed faith in half. We're probably going to see a Confederate New Reformed faith and a united New Reformed faith. But yeah, in fact, I think we're not going to see any of the New Reformed faith for much longer, because the Totemists are just gonna wait for the truce to end, and they'll strike again. That's what's gonna happen. We can now see Protestant Canada has just formed a colonial nation of the Protestant faith. Okay, really nice. And we also see the Norse are now settling over here. Okay, so some more people are colonizing. So the Totemists woke up just at the right time, because if they would have waited a little bit longer, the enemy nations on their shores would maybe become overwhelming. I think at this point they can still beat them back, especially as long as the Nahuatl are not at war with them. But they gotta hurry. They gotta kick the New Reformed out of the Americas, because otherwise it's going to look terrible for them. Also, maybe Catholic Louisiana could be a new next target, a nice next target. Alright, so the Catholics and the Papal State, they're colonizing. The Lollards are taking over more of France, which is good to see. And yeah, so the Waldensians are overrun, minus 33%. It's not looking good. I wonder what's going to be taken over, if it's just Slavic land or if it's other lands as well. But we can see the Iconoclasts have occupations, the Bogomilists, yeah, alright. How are the Orthodox doing? They're actually winning against the Suomenusko. That's not really surprising. I don't know. I don't know how strong the Orthodox are. They have obviously lost Constantinople, so they're not as great as they used to be. But yeah. Now, I'm a bit surprised that the Nestorians are here. I thought they were eaten up by the Copts. Maybe not entirely. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, they are obviously still there. The Mazdaki, who are you fighting? You are fighting the Sikh, and you're winning. Not decisively, but you are winning, so that's good, I believe. The Tengri have pieced out, and they, oh my god, they took probably also close to 20 provinces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 provinces. Wow. That is pretty insane. So the Tengri are also doing a really good job. Are you still Tengri? Yes, they are. Because they used to convert in my first series. They always converted. I don't know why they did that. I'm glad that they are no longer doing that. Alright, so what have you gotten yourself into? You are at war with the Confucians as well. Let's quickly check out the wars. So the Fraticelli war is still going on. The Tengri are now at war with the Zikri. Okay, that could be interesting. I'm not sure how strong the Zikri are, but I do believe, well, I don't know. That's going to be something I definitely want to watch. Suomenusko absolutely getting wrecked by the Orthodox, and the Nahuatl still losing, slowly but surely. And the Mahayana, they're actually winning their war against the Confucians. Now, I wonder what they want to take. It's probably just about this. I think they're only going to take these couple provinces, although, who owns this? Who owns this province? Oh, the Vajrayani. Why do they own this province? I'm not entirely sure. So they might also take over some lands here. I I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out once we see the peace deal. Anything else that's going on? I believe you guys should peace out soon. Wow, this is unstoppable. This alliance block, simply unstoppable. Now, the Nahuatl, they don't want to give in. That's kind of stupid on their part. And there was another war. I just forgot. What was I going to check out? Oh, right. It was the Tengri against the Zikri. And it looks as though the Tengri are making some good progress. Zikri have 100,000 men. The Tengri have, well, 130,000. Not that much more, but, you know, that may be enough to turn the tide in their favor. And once you destroy the enemy armies, it's smooth sailing from then on. So it's just gonna take a couple stack wipes and you're good to go. But I doubt we're actually going to see that, since there's a lot of mountainous terrain, so it's difficult to get a stack wipe here. Okay, so Mazdaki... Wait, why are the Mazdaki... Oh yeah, they're fighting the Sikh. Right. And it looks as though they actually won that battle. It was quite costly. Is that all the troops you have? Because I can see a lot of Sikh troops. I think the Mazdaki don't really have this under control. I think they are going to lose this eventually. They're just going to run out of men. Yeah, look at this. 100,000 Sikh troops. And you have, like, what, 30,000? That's not going to be enough. That is not going to be enough. Alright, what else is going on? Mazdaki, you are now losing heavily. Yes. And, alright, we have a peace in Europe. I would like to see that. Monophysite rebels. Oh, wow. Yes, the Fraticelli have struck again. They have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8 provinces, I assume? 6, maybe it's just 7 provinces from the Waldensians, and they've taken another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the Slavs. Wow. Yeah, Waldensians, they've done so well, but as someone pointed out in the comment section, their diplomatic game is almost non-existent. They are doing so poorly because they have not a single ally. And that is really what's hurting them. And the Slavs, well, they're not really doing any better than that. Their country is split in 3. I feel like we have seen that before. Anyway, so yeah, there's that. Did the Bogomilist take anything? I wonder. No, I think it was just the Fraticelli. They took all of the spoils of war for themselves, and the Orthodox pieced out the Suomenusko. They managed to grab 2 provinces. Yeah, you know, they're trying everything to stay alive, but it's just a matter of time until either the Iconoclasts or the Bogomilists decide that they want some more Orthodox lands, and they're going to go after it, and no one's going to stop them. That's the way it is. I just wonder when this Hugbox is just going to break apart, because that's when things get really interesting. But yeah, for now, let's check out some other wars. The Tengri are absolutely destroying the Zikri. Okay, I was kind of suspecting that, but I wasn't entirely sure. Mahayana are now alone against Confucians. The Rajajani have been separate pieced out, but it seems as though they have been able to keep their provinces, so that's good for them. Yeah, the Zikri are now being quite overrun. They are still trying. I can see quite a lot of forces here. I just don't think it's going to be enough to destroy the Tengri here. Yeah, they probably won't be able to stop him. Alright, what else have we got going on? This is the Ibadi. Yeah, so the fetishes... Oh, look at... for a second there I was going to say the fetishes finally border someone, but this is Wasteland. But they do in fact border the Lollards. Of all people, the fetishes meet the Lollards first. That's kind of crazy. But yeah, okay. So the fetishes have a neighbor, and I wonder if they are going to go to war soon. This could be possible. Now I do want to check out the religions just a little bit, because it's always interesting. The Slavs, yeah, they're not looking too good. Zoroastrians are colonizing some more things. Okay, Church of Zun still holding on. I like to see that. Ibadi Australia. Then we have Hindu New Zealand. And how's it looking in the New World? Catholic Louisiana, the Reformed have just taken quite a beating. And what just happened? I'm not sure. Did you give up some provinces? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think you have. I think they have just colonized some more lands. So that's okay. All right. So the Protestants. I wonder if the Protestant Canada has any liberty desire. They do not. All right. Well, Nahuatl has now declared a war on the Jain, Shinto, and California. They lost their war, or I guess they white-peaced their war with the Inti. I'm not getting any messages here. That's too bad. So they white-peaced the Inti, I assume, as I don't see that they have given up any provinces. And now they are on to a new conquest, once again against California. In fact, no, they've actually declared war on Jain, Alaska. But they are being guaranteed by the Shinto and Shinto California. Now, the last time the Nahuatl went to war against Shinto and Shinto California, they lost. So I think it's not going to go too well for them this time either. Actually, let me see. What is your liberty desire? You are at 0%. Okay, so the Shinto have their colony under control. That's good to see. Shinto are another one of my favorite nations. They just did so well when they were fighting their two-front war. So yeah, I just like them for that. In fact, hold on. This seems to be a bigger war. We have the Shinto at war with the Tengri. This is a war they started. Oh, and now the Nahuatl decided, you know what? We're going to use that opportunity to go after the Jains. But the Shinto have honored their promise of guaranteeing the independence of the Jains. So yeah, we'll see. But I guess it just means that the Shinto will sell out the Jains if things go down. If things go downhill for them. So that's okay. They should not at least lose any provinces. Okay, and the Tengri, I believe they won their war against... No, they're still fighting the Zigri. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure that they're going to be able to find a peace, although they had to move all of their troops away to defend against the Shinto, and now there's 100,000 Zigri troops. Okay, well, still, that was not enough. The Zigri broke in, or gave in, and had to give up one... Well, I guess... I'm not too sure. I think they didn't have to give up this province, but they give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 provinces. Wow. So the Tengri are growing quickly. Just in a matter of a couple of years, they took over close to 26 provinces. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. The Mahayana seem to have simply pieced out Confucians, not gaining anything in the process. All right. That's fine by me. And do we have any wars going on in Europe? No. So the world has cooled down a little bit after all of these crazy wars going on. We have a time of relative peace. So it's just the Shinto once again in 2 wars, but their war against the Tengri is looking really good. So hopefully going to be able to peace out quickly here. Although, you know what? I don't really see a whole lot of armies. They have a 42 stack here, and they have they have another stack here. I see. Okay. All right, so they have a lot of their troops in East Siberia. That's good for them. 19,000 men standing here. Do they have anything in the New World? Or are they just letting... yeah, it seems as though California is doing that on their own. 35,000 men. Nahuatl over here. Okay, yeah, so once again, Nahuatl are having problems navigating their troops properly, and they're maneuvering them through, well, steppes and wasteland, which is costing them valuable time that California is using to besiege their lands. And there is a huge Shinto fleet absolutely destroying the Nahuatl. Okay, well, I would say that the Shinto most definitely have control over the Pacific. It could be argued that either the Lollards or the Reformed, or maybe even the Catholics, have control over the Atlantic. It's hard to tell who really is the number one, but it is easy to determine the number one in the Pacific, the Shinto by far, especially because they have California. Alright, so one last look at the wars. The Zoroastrians declared a war on the Tengri. Okay, so that is obviously making it much easier for the Shinto to win their war here. So yeah, now that the Tengri are having to focus their forces on the west to fight the Zoroastrians, it should be easier for the Shinto to at least broker a somewhat good peace deal, so they can then focus on the Nahuatl. But yeah, I think we'll have one last look at the great powers here. So now Huatl number 1, okay, that's interesting to see. We have the Zoroastrians, Inti, Totemist, Shinto, Fraticelli as the best and strongest European nation, and then the Norse as the second European nation. Very good. So Europeans out catching up, as I have said. We'll see how things turn out in the end. But for now, this will be it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.